Hello and welcome to Waypoint, a podcast for people who live in
Norway.
In Norway. Yep, the Norwegians got this one. I'm sure they were great at Eurovision or something. I didn't get to watch it this year. I'm Julian. I'm the game master.
And I'm Sanja. I play Charlotte.
I'm Viola. I play Moon.
And I'm Mimi. And I play the sad Max.
Aww.
The sad Max.
Aww.
Speaking of sad, we are very sorry if this episode might be a bit more chaotic or weird than usual because all of us are sick in some way or another. So
Yes.
have a drinking game whenever one of us is like very clearly not firing on all cylinders.
Listen, I'm always sick one way or another, so it's not much of a difference for me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always down with the sickness, as they say.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but we'll manage. We'll get. Yep, that was a good example of what I was trying to say. All right. I'll say we just jump in before I completely lose confidence.
Yes.
We left off last time on the Starbolts leaving the base to go to the bank that was apparently robbed, to find some survey footage or to look around or something. And from what I remember, Charlotte wanted to make this a race.
Yes. Well,
All right.
I just wanted to be quicker than him. I'd just say that.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely roll for that, if only because it would be kind of humorous if it failed. So
I'm guessing it's an
I'll
Unleash My Powers.
yeah, I'd count that as an unleash your powers, exactly. You just raised your freak last episode, so
That's true. Okay. Let's roll.
yes.
Wonderful. I rolled a 3.
Oh
Plus
no!
1. It's a 4.
Oh
Loved
no!
it for you.
Nice.
Just blame
All
it
right,
on
amazing.
the fight that was like half an hour ago.
I have a fun idea of how this might happen.
Okay.
So, Charlotte, I think this is kind of a one-sided race, at least at the start.
Yes, definitely.
It's like something where it's about you getting there first, and you're like speeding ahead of him, and he's like kind of in the speedster version of a jog, just kind of confused. Okay, why are you running ahead? And you probably like lose him pretty quickly behind you. You like trace around the edges of some buildings, and ultimately, when you get to the bank, he's already there.
Damn it. Okay.
Sorry.
I look annoyed. at him.
I felt like this was a kind of a race situation. Why did you take the long way around?
I'm new to this city. I just wanted to, see more streets.
Okay, no, I'm also new to the city. I just took the shortcut through some buildings, phasing through walls and all that.
Oh no.
I stare at him, and I'm like, he can phase through walls? Damn it. I don't say anything.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say, since you failed here, you take a condition from this.
Okay.
And mark potential, don't forget
And
that.
pretend. Oh, right. Oh my god, I almost forgot. Okay, I would take the insecure condition.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why ever would you be insecure after that?
Hey, maybe he got some of your powers, but not some others that you have,
Maybe he can't speed read.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is way more important and way more impressive than facing through
I mean,
walls.
you've got shocking amounts of use out of that one already, so...
That is true. I didn't expect that, but yeah.
It's also very useful when looking at security camera footage, which brings us back into the moment where you're right outside the bank. You actually don't see any officials currently here, except for people who are probably employed in this bank. And like some people immediately see, okay, there's 2 superheroes here. And you see people in like fancy bank people clothing coming out of the Uwu bank to greet you.
Damn it. The Evo Bank giggles are back.
You must be the people that the SOS said they were sending. They said one guy, one person. Which one of you is that?
We're just here as, we support each other, so the more the better.
Yeah. Starbolt 2 looks at you with like something like short hope that you're actually here to support him, but then looks back at the bank person and says, "Yeah, that's me. I'm the guy. This is a very good acquaintance of mine who is gonna help me with this thing. We're mainly here to like check out the crime scene real quick and to gather some security footage." If that's all right. And the bank people are immediately like very supportive of this.
Yes, because I have connections to someone who can analyze that footage.
I mean, the guy from inside who you've been talking to so far turns to Charlotte and says, we can't, it's like on our systems. It's kind of hard to transfer out and also kind of a security thing, but you can definitely look through it in here if you want. Taking it out would be pretty unusual.
Against company policy.
Well, could you try? Because this is your bank and we just want to help, but we need certain things to help you.
I'm gonna say, does that make sense? Yeah, I'm thinking about if this could be a provoke someone.
Oh, okay.
To like get him to do what you want.
Yes.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say roller provoke someone.
Okay. Oh, that's a 6 and a 3.
Nice.
So
6 and a 3 sounds good.
that's 9. I have 0
And you're
on superior, so.
Okay, so it is just a general 9. I'm gonna just for this situation use this as I think it would make the most sense to use this sort of as a partial success. And I'm gonna say that you like gain something, but not exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So he seems to think about it and says, "All right, I can see if I can figure something out, but that's gonna take a little bit. We're gonna have to do some paperwork on that front, and I'm gonna have to ask my superior.
Okay.
If it's gonna take probably like 10 to 20 minutes if you have the time."
Sure, I mean, it's a very important footage, so I'll wait for that.
All right, if you want to look at the scene of the crime first, feel free to. There's people down there who are gonna show you everything.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And he basically goes inside, and the small crowd that formed outside also disperses. And yeah, you can enter the bank. But before you do that, the other Starbolt, or Dean as he introduced himself to you last time, puts like very carefully a hand on your shoulder and says, "Just one question, because I almost had like a situation here and I don't want to... I just want to settle that now so I don't make any mistakes. You said your names," and he comes really close to you and whispers in your ear so no one else can hear it, "Charlie. So that's kind of a gender-neutral name. Just wanted to ask what your pronouns are, so I don't get that wrong."
My pronouns are she, her.
Okay, cool. All right. Just didn't want to like introduce you as like, oh, there they are coming or whatever. Didn't want to do anything wrong.
Sure. And your pronouns are?
I'm a classic he him.
All right.
Okay. Let's look at the scene of the crime. Okay.
Sure. Let's do that.
And he speeds ahead inside the bank.
Okay, I'm right on his heels.
Okay, yeah, you basically make it down to basically where all the very important stuff is. There's a lot of lockers here, probably for like personal valuables. And there's also a big safe here, which has an open door currently. There's a few people outside of it right now, basically just checking the area out. But it seems like they don't really know what to do either, and only really spring into action again when you two show up. All right, we've been waiting for you. We called the SOS like a couple of hours ago, and no one's showed up yet.
Well, we're here now. Could you
right.
show us around?
Yeah, and I don't know. Do you have like infrared eyes or like any sort of super senses thing?
Let's just say we know what we're doing.
Okay, because we couldn't find anything, but they like carefully open the door. Someone with thin gloves opens it, probably not to destroy evidence, and they lead you inside. And inside you can see there's like shelves in here, there's a couple of tables in here, and everything that should be in here on all of these has been removed. The only things you can still see is on the ground. You see like a few little valuables lying around, like a few coins, a few precious gemstones, and stuff like that, but there doesn't seem to be much left. Someone has been pretty thorough.
I would say I look around, but in super speed, so that the people are impressed.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. You start off looking around in super speed, and pretty quickly the other Starbolt picks up on that and does the same thing.
Yes.
I'm gonna say there's just not much you could find, I think. You come to basically the same conclusion that the other people down here came to. That whoever did this didn't touch the big door of the safe, didn't really destroy anything or throw anything over. You can't see any obvious point of entry. There is no like air vent or something in here. You also see, that's actually kind of important, there's not a camera in here either.
Okay.
At least not in the safe. You do, however, spot a camera right outside, like pointed at the safe.
Okay. I will go up to one of the people and ask if there is a hidden camera or a microphone or something in the safe. It's weird that there would be nothing in the safe.
There is, there should be. Basically, there's a camera right on the other side of the door. The woman you've been talking to basically points up, and you see that, yeah, they're actually like in the wall. You didn't really notice it that much before because it was like basically cut off at the root. But there's like a small end of a cable inside the wall. That's where it was set up, but it was like cleanly cut off. That, from what I heard from the security people, happened like right at the start. Basically, the first thing that happened is we lost visual, and right after that, we went down here. It took us a little bit to open the safe, but by that time, everything was gone.
Okay.
It happened like this morning, not even during the night, like early daylight.
And I'm guessing no one saw anything. How much time was it until from the footage cutting out until you opened the safe?
That was probably like 3 to 5 minutes. Not very long.
Okay.
Not enough time for anyone to, I don't know, climb in through a secret entrance, climb out through a secret entrance, take all of that stuff out.
Okay, so it was definitely someone with superpowers.
Likely, yeah. I mean, we all have our theories.
I mean, if you want to share them, we also have our theories, but maybe you have some other ideas.
Well, the woman seems like there's something that she doesn't really want to address too much, but ultimately turns to you again and says, your costume, that's like a deliberate homage to Starbolt, right?
I am the new Starbolt, so it's not an homage, it's just, it is.
I didn't know that the SOS had declared one. Either way, there was this, there used to be this villain that Starbolt fought against like a couple of times, called Black Hole.
Yes, I know who you mean. Our investigation actually goes into that direction as well, so...
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't been active in like a couple years, at least not like in this way. She hasn't like robbed banks. That's something that she did like in the 80s or the 90s or something maybe, but since then that wasn't really something she did. It was more like higher stakes technology company stuff or whatever like that. So we basically thought that sort of era was over. There was a time where every big bank in Waypoint had like a guy stationed inside their safe specifically for this situation. But it hasn't happened in so long that we stopped being really worried about it, and this seems like Black Hole to me. This is definitely like the kind of stuff she pulled.
Yeah, I mean, you can never be too careful, especially in Waypoint. I would definitely recommend stationing someone inside the safe again.
It comes with pros and cons, because the con is if you station someone inside the safe, it needs air vents, which again makes it easier to break into from other angles.
That's true, but I think with so many different superpowers, it would definitely be the safer option. We don't know if it's Black Hole, maybe someone with similar powers. It's hard to say, but yeah, I would definitely increase the security.
Yeah.
I guess you can never be too careful and add more.
Dean chimes in at this moment and says, "Yeah, exactly what my partner said. Keep going. We'll find whoever did this and bring back your lost money." And the woman kind of like shakes her head and puts her hands up and says like, "Hey, we've already told our insurance that the money's gone. We don't expect that you're gonna bring it back, but if you can catch the person who did this, that's gonna be very helpful at the very least."
Well, we will do everything we can to solve this case.
Dean nods and turns away from the safe to sort of talk to you in person about this. So this Black Hole is someone who fought Starbolt?
Yes, they were nemesis.
It must have been a while ago. Didn't find that when I like Googled around for stuff like that, and he didn't put anything like that into
Yahoo Answers. We don't have Google here.
I Yahoo'd it. God, I Binged it. Yeah, I Yahoo'dled it, and tried to find anything I could about Starbolt and like his recent stuff, but he also didn't have anything about Black Hole and the stuff that he left me in the end.
Well, I guess you should do more research then.
Did he talk to you about her?
Well, yeah, he told me about Black Hole, and I actually met her.
Oh, already? Like, did you fight her?
No, not exactly. She basically just came to me and taunted me about, Starbolt's death, and then she just disappeared again.
Oh.
I couldn't really do anything against her. She was, well, let's just say very mysterious.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, Starbolt never talked much about his villains to me. He probably didn't, like... if you are... I mean, you're the proof that he didn't tell me a lot of things.
I mean, same. But yeah, he told me a little bit about her. But yeah, as you said, he didn't want to talk about the villains he fought. I kind of feel like he just didn't want to brag.
That might be it.
Yeah.
I didn't, that's gonna sound wrong because we just fought one of them, but I'm a little bit of a gamer, and I actually talked to him like a lot about. I tried to get him into some of my favorite games, but he didn't really.
You're gaming too?
I mean, a little bit, yeah. I mean, I don't do much anymore because like it's kind of, since I got these powers, it's kind of been a little. My reaction speed is just too good.
Oh, I know what you mean.
A lot of stuff just doesn't make. He told me he tried to get me into like he's more of a reader, and he tried to get me into like a couple of his favorite books, but I have like, I don't know. I hear that if you're trying to get a job as a superhero, you shouldn't talk about like problems you have or something like that. But like I have problems concentrating, and reading has never really been a thing for me. Like even before I got speed powers, and that's kind of just made it worse.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I also do read a lot, and I've read some of his recommendations.
It's fine. He's like I'm trying. Like he has like a pouch on his pant leg, and he opens it up and pulls like a slightly worn-looking book out and says he left me that one in his will, and I've slowly been getting through it. It's just tough. I have to always do something else, like I don't know, running or something.
Which book is that? Can I ask that?
You recognize that book.
Oh, okay.
Because you gave that to Starbolt. That's a book that you recommended to him and gave him during your training. It's the same copy. You see, it has the same stains. It has the same like ripped edges of the book that you remember from like multiple people speed reading it multiple times over. And yeah, apparently he left it in his last will to this other Starbolt.
Okay. As I look at this book, I would say Dean notices that I have tears in my eyes.
Hey, he notices that the book seems to have a negative effect and tries putting it away again. He says, I know it's tough. It's kind of hard to try to do something for someone who you don't even really know what he wanted from you. I was actually kind of happy. Like, of course, I was kind of devastated, but I was also kind of happy when I found out that I wasn't the only one. That maybe, like, if I found other people who are kind of going through the same thing, we could like put the puzzle together of who this guy actually was. That's kind of why I went to the SOS, why I wanted to, even like if he doesn't like me, and he doesn't seem to like me, why I want to talk to Knight Rider about this thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I don't really know what to say right now, but
yeah,
let's just say it's worth reading that book, even though it's difficult for you.
I'm getting through it, and he seems to think about if he should pull it out, but instead he just slaps his hand on his pocket and says, "I'm like quarter of the way through. I'm getting there." Anyways, we should see if they have the footage. If we can look at the footage while they get it ready.
Yeah, sure. I think, yeah, that's a good plan.
Okay, let's do that then. And you two make your way to the footage, which is like in a security center where you can look through it. And by the time you get there, basically, you're intercepted by the same bank guy that talked to you before and says, "Okay, we have it collected here. That should be the last 6 hours. I need you, both of you, to sign with your superhero names and your real names here, there, and initials here."
Our real names?
Yeah, I mean, your SOS, right? There's a public identity thing with the SOS. And the other Starbolt kind of jumps in and says, "It's fine, I'll do it. It's okay."
I nod at him, thankfully.
Yeah, he puts his name in there and also puts the name Starbolt on there. Okay, yeah, thank you. And he takes the tapes that are basically being handed to him. Yeah, we should get back to the others.
Yes, let's do that. I think Moon can do some magic.
or whatever the alien equivalent to that is.
Exactly.
All right, let's head off. And he runs ahead again.
Okay. This time I'm just keeping up with him, and I'm not trying to race him.
And in exchange, he doesn't run through buildings.
Aww, friendship.
Meanwhile, at the base, the two Starbolts just left. Is there anything else you two would be doing in that time?
I think
Well,
so.
Max is not gonna talk much.
What would Moon be getting from Max at that in these minutes?
I am still insecure and angry. Like, you would definitely get that, and also just a lot of resentment towards her mother.
So, Max, I can sense that you have problems with your parents, but I was just wondering, why are you so angry? I mean, you don't have any reason to be. You're being an awesome leader. You took down the alpha gamer basically by yourself. I mean, if anyone can prove your mother wrong, it's you. And I mean, you already have, kind of. You don't need her.
You are under the assumption that my mother feels like she can be proven wrong, but that's not the case, because my mother always thinks she's right, and I cannot prove anything to her. I either do what she says, or I'm worthless.
Doesn't she see that you're not her? Like, she can do whatever she wants, but trying to make you like her is just... it's never gonna work. Or am I missing something here?
Listen, all I am is because of my mother. I'm only a superhero because I was supposed to be from the very beginning. And I wasn't even supposed to leave in the first place, but she thought that if I could get really famous and really successful, that it would still work out. But I I don't think she actually trusts me.
Is that why you left? Because you wanted to get away from everything, or just because you wanted to see Waypoint?
I wanted to leave because I actually wanted to be a hero. I wanted to help people. I wanted people to look up to me and not just want an autograph, but that they actually trust in me to save them. I want to actually do something in this world.
You did. You saved a lot of people since we've been here. You founded this team. I mean, none of us would have met each other if you hadn't just like talked to us on the train station that day. So as far as I'm concerned, you've already succeeded.
Moon, I'm gonna say you can roll a comfort or support.
Yes. Please, Dice. I beg of you. My mundane is as high as it's ever been. I have influence over Max. I can add a +1.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
So, okay. Add a +3 minus a 2. Come on, Dice.
What is it?
It's a 5 and a 6.
Hey! So you're
Dice,
supported
I love
as
you.
fuck.
You've redeemed yourself.
No more
On a
dice jail.
hit, Moon, do you want to add a team to the pool, or do you want to clear one of your conditions?
One of your many conditions.
I mean, team is very useful. No, I'm not going to do that one again. I think I'll clear the hopeless condition, because I think like talking to Max and remembering that they're a good team, and that even though Moon feels like they can't really contribute in a fight, like knowing that, oh, there is someone who can like cover me, that might actually help with the hopeless feeling.
All right, cool. So Max, how do you take it?
I think that helps me with my insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Open up.
yes, I will open up to you, Moon.
All right.
Just say,
Max. Max looks at Moon and says, you know, I spent my whole life trying to prove myself to my mother, and for the first time I feel like maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe it's just enough to prove to myself that I can do things and to be there for this team.
Aww.
At exactly this moment, the door to your hideout opens up, and someone walks in with a key in hand, and it's Rex, who had just left after the whole journalist thing and appears to be back. Max, is what Mom said true?
Depends on what she said.
She said that you pulled out, that you're staying here, and that I'm supposed to go back.
Well, I will stay here. What you are going to do is your choice, I guess.
Are you gonna go with that's your choice? Max, nothing's ever been my choice. My job has always been to do the best thing for you, okay? And I've really tried. I've tried with all of your choices. I've tried with all the things you told me to do exactly the thing that's right for you.
I know that, and I'm so grateful that you've done this, but listen, I need to do this, and of course you can also stay here in Waypoint. I know how good you are. You could do your job here as well. You don't have to go back.
I'm doing my job because that's the only thing that's left for me. Mom kept telling me that I was also supposed to have powers. That she had the same... That she did the same thing for me that she did for you. And that it just didn't work. And that was what was left for me. That what was left for me was to be your shadow. And I've really tried that. But I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that if I can't trust you to think of what's gonna be with me in your decisions, alright? I don't know what to do anymore, okay?
I never saw you as my shadow. You're my big brother, and you were always there for me, and I really look up to you, you know? I didn't know that you made such a big sacrifice. I thought this was what you wanted to do. But I think Mom made us do a lot of things that we didn't actually want to do, either of us. And I think now is the time for both of us to actually go out and do what we want.
I wish I could believe that. you've always just pulled me everywhere with you. And he's gonna try to shift your labels, which you can resist.
All right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think I'm gonna resist that.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Okay.
There. That's a 7.
Okay, a 7 is a partial success.
Yep.
So you get to choose one, clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down, your choice, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
I'm thinking about maybe shifting my own labels.
There's a logic to that.
I just don't know which way to go.
You know, I think this might change your savior. Because, like, giving Rex up and telling him, like, be your own person, I think that might be something that could go in the savior
Yeah,
direction.
but does Max want to give Rex up, you know?
I think what's gonna happen is that my mundane is gonna go up. Because it's basically this thing of, I think that I'm more similar to Rex, who is not a superpowered individual, than maybe I had realized before. And I actually do think it would shift down my freak. Because, again, I don't feel as, let's just say, as weird or special or whatever, or as freaky. Because we basically had the same childhood, even though we come from very different, like, skill sets, I guess.
Yeah, there's a logic to that. I can see that.
Yeah, makes sense.
I have a 1 now in
Normed
everything,
out now.
just with
Yeah,
a plus
you're
and
normed
a minus.
You're extremely undangerous, and everything else is a +1.
I'm so mid-tier.
Max pretty mid, TBH.
Yes. Okay. Listen, Rex, I believe you can be anything you want to be, and I obviously think you're great at your job. You could stay here in Waypoint and become the agent of any superhero. You would do a great job. And if you'd still want to work with me, I would love that, but I'm not going to chain you to myself. Because I think you deserve to have your own life and do what you want to do. And I think that going back would be a disservice to both of us. Because it's not just that I don't want to go, I also don't want you to just always stay at my side, whether you have a choice or not.
He walks over to a cushioned chair and sits down on it, kind of deflated, in his most business-like Bermuda shorts that he wore for this special occasion. And basically like looks down to the ground for a little bit and says, no matter what you said, I wasn't gonna go back. What would I even do, right? What would I do? Would Mom find someone else who she can make the big superhero of the city and put me in as their PR guy? I don't want to be. You say I can be the PR guy of any superhero in this city, but what's the point? I don't want to be that. I was always a PR guy to be your PR guy, to be. I kind of always had this special position in your story, and I don't know, I wouldn't know what to do outside of that. I think I'm gonna have to consider my options on all of this.
Max hugs him and says, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, we figured all of the other things out so far, right?
And until then,
And we always will.
You can stay here if you want. We have room.
I guess, for a bit. I genuinely, if no one pays my hotel bills, I don't have another place to stay right now. So, guess I'm gonna have to turn this working for my mom into an actual job.
Like an adult?
Ugh.
Yeah, like an adult. I don't know. How do you do that? Telling Mom no like that. Like, it feels like our whole lives from the start were planned out by her. I don't even know what to do with myself.
You know how I fought actual real-life supervillains now?
Yeah?
Telling Mom no was still the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life. I don't know, I guess I just have to do what's best for me and for the world, because I am going to be a superhero. A good one, a great one.
That's something that I've never doubted. Like that's my job, right? My job is to make you a great superhero, because what would you do without me, right?
Right.
We'll figure it out somehow, I guess. But I don't think it doesn't feel like this could be it, right? Like, this isn't where this ends. Mom won't just let this be.
I guess until then I just have to become a superhero that is more influential than Mom.
I mean, good luck with that.
No.
All right. I'll go back to the hotel and pack up my stuff, I guess. If you can set up like a corner with some blanket curtains, I'll move in until I find something else.
We'll have a place for you, don't worry. I'm sure Enoch can clear something for you.
Okay. See you later. I'll be back, like, I don't know, tonight probably. I think I need a bit of time.
Yep.
He leaves. He leaves the building, and as he does, the two Starbolts return.
Yay.
You two come in, and inside it's like the devastated atmosphere.
Or Charles is like back from a little nice little bonding moment, and everyone's like, my relationships are falling apart. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Hey,
You come into a very strange moment.
I think that went better than it could have, okay?
Yeah, it did. There was definitely a let's see if you can keep Rex moment. Yeah, you two return with the footage to kind of a strange scene, and Dean does not seem to notice that the mood is kind of weird. And it's like, we got the tapes.
Oh, cool.
Great. Moon can get. I mean, Brainwave can get on that. So, Starbolt, you might have seen my brother just now. He's gonna move in with us for a while. I hope that's okay.
Me Starbolt or she Starbolt?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to refer only to one of you as Starbolt, and that's my teammate. I hope you're okay with that.
All right, I'll just swallow that down deep in my soul. I'll put the tapes here and grab something to drink.
Yeah, of course it's fine with me. Is everything okay?
Yeah, just trouble with my mom. It's not that important right now.
Okay. I guess we should start with the footage.
Okay.
Yep.
What did you find out so far? And Moon goes over and takes like the USB stick or something, and
I think it's like actual tapes, like from a mechanical camera.
ugh, what's this?
Old-fashioned, but hard to hack.
I'm okay. I have to build something to look through these, I guess. Ugh. Oh, this
That
is
would
just
be great. It
barbaric.
wasn't easy to get them. But yeah, we were at the safe. There was hardly any evidence. The only thing we found was that they cut off the camera that was inside the safe right when they started. They were very, very fast. It took like 3 to 5 minutes. And yeah, I mean, the footage is kind of our only hope right now to figure something more out.
Ship, can you scan these and digitalize them, please?
That shouldn't be a problem. You can also put them in the universal media port. It should be adapted to Earth technology at this point.
Oh, right. Okay, here you go.
I have been constructed to accept all sorts of media. I've reconstructed myself after my research on the internet.
Max pets Ship and says, "What would we do without you?"
Yeah, I know, right?
Ha 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 ha.
The weird thing is, I'm trying to imagine what does this sound like in telepathic.
You probably just see like a recorded scene of sitcom laughter.
I guess unleash my powers to see if I can find anything or assess the situation.
I'm just gonna describe to you what you see, because this is just looking at the footage for now, right?
Okay.
So basically you boot up the footage and you see the inside of the safe from like a central camera. Charlotte, you recognize everything that you see in there from what you've seen before. It's the same tables, the same shelves. They seem to not have moved at all. But they're full of stuff. They're full of bags. They're full of little like capsules. They're full of like little chests and boxes. And as you see that, you like sort of fast forward through it a little bit. You get to a point where something happens to the footage. You see that something happens on one of the walls of the room. At first, it looks like there's something that's like slightly sticking out of the wall for like just a very, very short moment. And I think only Charlotte really realizes this because of like the speed reading powers, because of like very fast consumption of footage. And right after that, like a millisecond, there's like heavy grain on the image. And it starts tearing, and it starts like throwing waves in all directions. And it seems to be like specifically on the side of the frame at first that the thing emerged from. And then it quickly expands and covers like the whole of the image. And then it's black. The footage ends.
Can you go back just right before there was whole
I think
grain?
we'll have to look at it frame by frame. But it looks to me like some kind of interference.
There was something sticking out of that wall just right before the grainy image started.
Okay. So what do we see when we look for this
you go back,
sticking out thing?
You go through it frame by frame, and it is literally just like 3 frames that are the thing that Charlotte noticed there. And like the first frame, you see basically something like the wall, it's black and white footage, but you see that the wall at that point gets significantly darker, like at a small spot. And in the next frame, you can see that this darkness sort of expands, and there seems to be something at the center of it. In the third frame, you see that the darkness has expanded even further, and out of the middle of that darkness emerges something that is clearly recognizable as the tips of fingers, even though they have taken on a strange smoke-like appearance. They are kind of hard to see and kind of hazy, especially in the footage. But you can already in this frame see that the footage starts to distort and tear around the fingers, which by the next frame has kind of ruined the entire visuals of the footage.
Okay.
So there is definitely someone who can walk through walls and give off some kind of electromagnetic interference. So, Charlotte, I know you had some suspicions of whom that might be, but is this in line with what you know?
I mean,
do we know anything, or should I do some more research on how her powers manifest?
It definitely seems to be a black hole, but it would be great if Chip could actually pull up some other footage we have of black hole. We could compare the two, if black hole looked similar to what we're seeing here.
And while we're on it, we should probably also get some reports of the OG Starbolt's fight with black hole, because, I mean, from what I know of her, it's been a while since she's been active, but she's pretty dangerous, so
she's very dangerous, yes.
How Starbolt could fight her could be helpful, especially since we got 2 speedsters.
Yeah, as you talk about that, Chip already starts pulling up stuff that's basically just yahooing it and picks out footage. There's some security cam footage that was shown in like articles and stuff where you have a very similar effect, maybe even the same effect, just on a different like era of monitoring equipment. You have some stuff taken from afar of a black hole like emerging from the sewers, like through the road, and starts running at the cameraman who like tries to get away. And you do see some footage of Starbolt if you look at it. Although this one seems to be mainly photographs from like longer ago of Starbolt fighting black hole in the streets. You even see footage in video form from one news report of black hole getting away by running straight through the wall of the building they're currently fighting in, and Starbolt following her. One goes through a wall, the other follows through a wall. How exactly Starbolt defeats black hole isn't shown in any of the footage, but if you want to read through articles, it's probably described there. That would just take a little bit more time.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. I mean, I can speed read through articles.
Time to flex that speed reading.
Yeah, definitely.
While you do that, you do notice Dean has by this point returned and like also looks at some of the footage. Dean definitely can't speed read. That appears to actually be a power that he doesn't have.
Okay.
He very much lags behind in looking through these articles. So from looking through it, like you check some articles. It takes like over the course of an hour. You look through all the footage that's available. With speed reading, you get ahead a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
But something that you do notice is descriptions of how Black Hole gets defeated are relatively sparse.
Okay.
And you notice the issue relatively quickly because Black Hole was basically only arrested once or twice. And it usually turned more into a situation of at some point she gives up. You see a few reports that claim that Starbolt defeated her by basically forcing her into a position where she couldn't phase away, where she couldn't phase through stuff, because her powers also seem to extend to when she gets punched, she can basically phase through the fist that hits her, which makes her relatively hard to defeat. The only situations where she was actually like caught, where she was actually defeated in that way, were when she was brought to a material that she can't phase through. And it appears to be extremely dense materials. Or at least that's what the articles claim, which is stuff Starbolt told the people who wrote them. Because you can't really film her all that well.
Okay. So
So
we
stuff
need
like
dense
very
material.
thick metal or like
Or
diamond.
Dean's head.
Oof.
I'm
Nice
sorry.
one.
Take off our powerful blow,
Sorry.
Dean.
I mean,
We're also so mean to Dean, but it's like not his fault.
it really isn't. He's a nice guy.
Just a nice boy with ADHD, come on.
I have a question. From what I've heard of Black Hole, she hasn't really been active that much in recent years. So why now? Why here? Why this? Can you let's see
guess-
at all the recent activity that we know that can be reliably attributed to Black Hole. Are there any patterns? Has she been in Waypoint like previously?
Something you would find if you looked for that is like she's been active mainly in Waypoint from the very start. You actually, something interesting is you don't find any reports on like where she started. The reports seem to start at a certain point and nobody knows like where she came from basically. But she started actually right around the time that Starbolt got really big, the original Starbolt. She's been there basically all along. Since he started being the hero of Waypoint, she was in Waypoint to fight him. In the most recent years, there isn't much. Like, there's some situations where she, like, apparently robbed a big tech company, or where she stole from some trust fund or whatever. Like, mainly more big business stuff. Her MO seems to usually just get in, get out. But there's been less, like, stealing just money. And actually, this situation is special in that she hasn't been active in a bit over a year at all. Like, nothing that could be attributed to her.
So she hasn't actually done anything since the original Starbolt passed away. And before that, she was... do we know how much money was stolen?
You weren't given any specific numbers on that one.
I mean, I guess it was like a lot.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a lot.
Actually,
So why did she come back now? And why this?
actually, I think it could be because of me and the other Starbolt here.
You think she's trying to test you?
Or get your attention at least?
Maybe something like that. I mean, I actually, I saw her when I went to Starbolt's memorial. And, well, she was just, teasing and being a terrible person.
Yeah, supervillains
But
do that.
maybe our arrival made her, active again. Maybe that's why the SOS actually gave you that case.
So this could be our fault?
I wouldn't say it's our fault. I mean, it's still her choice to rob a bank.
Wow.
I would say it's our responsibility to stop her.
I must say I didn't think much of the SOS before all this, but giving a newbie someone like Black Hole, who even Starbolt couldn't defeat half of the time, is pretty unfair.
I mean, they said that they didn't know yet who it was when they sent me on that mission.
To me, it looks like
But-
this footage is pretty clear, and I mean, Knight Rider must know Black Hole as well as Starbolt did. You can't tell me he didn't have his suspicions, and he still sent you to do this.
True. And even from not seeing the footage, like everyone there seemed to know that it was probably Black Hole.
Yeah.
I
So-
think we should maybe talk to Knight Rider. Maybe he's testing us as well.
Maybe he was there when Starbolt defeated her. Maybe he can give us some insight.
I bet they have like cages or traps made out of a material that could hold her or something.
Yes. Actually, Brainwave, could you do some research on that and what kind of material we could use?
Yeah, I can probably whip something up.
I'm thinking, I don't think we should ask the SOS for help on this. I mean, yeah, it's like a dick move, and it's definitely like, it's not something that they should have given me, but it's still a test. If I can't do it on my own, I don't think I'm getting in.
But you're not gonna fight Black Hole on your own. I'm not gonna let that happen.
I don't even know where to find her. If she can phase through walls, she could literally be 10 feet below in the ground, hiding out.
That's true.
What do we do if we find her? We should have a plan what to do when...
Yes, because honestly, I'm really tired of going into fights without having a plan or, being prepared in any way.
Being unprepared and off balance, yeah, I know what you mean.
That's true. So, Brainwave, you should definitely prioritize the dense materials and how we can use them effectively.
I figure
Okay.
if she's actually trying to challenge Starbolts, then we have a pretty good chance of drawing her out with 2 of them right here.
Maybe, I mean, I saw her at Starbolt's memorial. Maybe she'll be waiting for us there.
Maybe, but
If this is really about us and a test, I think that might be a good idea where to start.
you're right. We should try that. We could probably do some of that tomorrow. It's getting late, and I remember there was a midnight thing going.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't think seeking out Black Hole would be a good idea before tomorrow anyway. As I said, I don't plan on going into the fight without knowing what to do. I know you speedsters have this tendency to rush off and... well, let's just say we haven't exactly had good experiences with that.
Nope, we have not.
I mean, Starbolt was also a speedster, and he managed to lead a whole superhero team, so I think we can learn that.
So let's prepare for the midnight meeting.
And I think this midnight meeting will happen on the next episode.
Aww.
All right, we got about the minimum far that I thought we would, but like a little bit further. That's good. And some good stuff evolved from that.
I can't believe that our 2 speedsters bonded most over gaming.
This is the gamer arc. We finally
That's true.
figured it out. We're gonna be back next week. Next week in 2 weeks. This episode is actually probably gonna turn out to be one of the shorter ones, which I'm excited about for the editing process. And we were actually pretty focused. We managed it. Come on.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think we did well.
I think the biggest problems were technical difficulties. So.
Yeah. At some point, we'll find a way to not have as many of those. But for now, we have social medias that you can check us out on. The title for this episode was actually decided on our Twitter, between a couple of different sequel puns. But there's also other social media. There's a Tumblr, there's an Instagram, there's a TikTok, all of them at Waypoint Pod. We also have an email, waypointheroes@gmail.com. You can contact us on all of those, because even though we mentioned, I think 2 episodes ago, that our new theme tune is new and that we have an original one, we didn't actually mention who it's from, which I want to include into this thing that I say at the end of every episode at this point. It was made by Persky, or Persky, he prefers Persky, whom you can find on Bandcamp. And anything else, any other cool things for the end of the episode?
Yes.
Me?
I would like to plug a movie.
Oh.
and it is the hottest superhero movie of the year, and it is DC League of Super Pets. You need to watch it. I haven't watched it, but I'm sure it's great. It's like just about Superman's dog and some random other animals that get superpowers. It's probably
and also
really great.
also
so
Ace the
cute.
Bat Hound. Ace the Bat Hound is also in, one of the main characters, I think.
Yeah, I haven't really researched it. I watched the trailer earlier today, and now I'm convinced it's gonna be the best superhero movie of the year.
It's about pets.
I mean, can it beat Morbius though?
That is gonna be the competition. You're right.
Can anything beat Morbius?
I also have not watched Morbius, but from
I
what
also
I know
haven't.
of it, it is the hottest contender for DC League of Super Pets.
Yeah, it's the summer of Morbius and DC Super Pets.
Exactly.
And we're just living in it.
Sure.
I'm gonna use this plugging opportunity, I guess, to once more talk about how great Everything Everywhere All at Once was.
Yes.
I'm gonna rewatch it tonight. It's so fucking good.
It's so good,
Everyone
guys.
should watch it if they haven't yet.
And this one's actually unironic.
No, this one's genuinely good.
I saw the new Downton Abbey movie and it was pretty awesome, so watch that as well. If you're a Downton Abbey fan, you're gonna be happy.
I guess check out my Etsy shop. I'm broke. Please buy dice from me.
That also works. What's it called?
It's This Geek Made, all in one word. It's also in my bio on Twitter. And maybe
Alright,
that will
nice.
motivate me to actually upload like the 6 different pairs of finished stuff that I have and just have not photographed and uploaded. It's just sitting there, not earning me money, which I desperately need.
Alright, then until this episode drops, it is your mission to do all of that so our audience can make you rich.
Yeah.
And now that we're all successfully and pleasurably plugged up, I'm gonna say...
Oh no, why did you phrase it like that? Oh.
I'm gonna say, see all of you, listen to you, hear from you, all of that again in 2 weeks. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Please stop him, please.